What is up, YouTube? Mox Opal back with another review of a video. Ooh, excuse me. Today we're going to be looking at the Segelei Sobra. I've vaped on it a few days so far. I guess I'm not really understanding why it's doing what it's doing. I do have its box down here still. Bought it in a kit, as you can see. Inside the kit comes with the Sobra mod, so a tank, a coil replacement, a glass replacement, a cable, manual, warranty card. So I got the gold edition, so you'll slide that open. Nice little box, says the same exact thing on this box as what it does on this one. So, but the color options for it are black, gunmetal, blue, rainbow, silver, and other, which I guess gold is other. I'm not too sure. But inside the kit, if we can get it open, which it wasn't very expensive. I think I spent like 55 bucks on the kit. You'll get your user manual for the kit. You will get just this warranty card, instructions, and instructions on the tank, because this is a moonshot tank. So it tells you how to take that top off to fill it. And then it tells you about the two coils inside and the best airflow for them too, which we'll be getting to that here in a second, my complaint about that actually. And then you'll also get this little card that has to do with the pin that comes inside the bag. That has to go to a different coil that actually is not included on here, because you got MS coils, MSM coils, and MSH coils. So it's one of them coils that you got to take that 510 thread pin out of the tank and put the other pin in. So I mean, honestly, I wouldn't worry about switching it out unless you hunt down what coil that is. That actually tells you. But it doesn't even tell you on the card which coil actually takes that other pin either. So they really messed up on it. And Segelei's usually a really big name brand company too. So your QA pass certificate, like I said, extra bubble glass, your O-rings, and right there inside of there is the pin, that other pin right there. See, at first I thought it was a squonk, but I looked at it, I was like, nah, that can't be a squonk, that's a regular tank. But it's an extra pin, kind of like if you were setting one of your tanks in parallel or series mode or something like that, I take it, because it only goes to one other like coil, which is weird. So you basically just take the pin that I guess is in the bottom of the tank, like the 510 thread pin, pop it out and pop this in. As far as what I understand, because you would think you would have to unscrew something though too, but on here it just shows that you open the tank and you pop this pin in and the inside, and it kind of sits under the coil, I guess is the way I'm taking that. But that's kind of a big pin to like be sitting underneath the coil. Like, that's a big pin, and it doesn't unscrew. So like, from the way I'm taking it, like, you take the tank apart, and right where the coil's at, pop that pin down in there, and then go to vaping. I'm not too sure on that. Then obviously the Type-C charger cord, which I never go over because they're pointless. Don't ever charge your mod with them. If you could take your batteries out, do not charge your batteries with the Type-C cord plugged into anything. Alright, not even like in the computer, none of that. All it does is short your batteries out and short your mod out. Okay, now here's the Segelei mod. Well, as you said, I've already filled it up because I'm not sitting there waiting all day. Not a very big tank, probably like 22 millimeter, but I think by like 30 millimeter tall. It's got an Ultim top on it that unscrews. I don't mind Ultim tops. They're nice. They don't get hot. But I'd rather have not had just one piece of one solid piece, because if it loses, it's trash. You got to get yourself another tank. And that's legit, because they don't send you another Ultim top inside of there. So what they should have done was sent you a top that you could kind of like swivels out like most of other tanks anymore. That's what they should have made this into and kept it Ultim. Or sent you like maybe 2 extra tops, because if you lose this, you can't vape on that. I mean, oh well, you're screwed at that point. But that is the top. Got a big old piece of rubber that comes around, and the nice thing about this fill port is you see there's a flap inside of that hole, and that actually I would like to see on all other tanks, because no matter what you do, say on even like the TFV18 with the rubber, any one of my other mods sitting here, if you were to take that hole and put just a rubber flap in there, it does not leak. Does not come back out at all. Put that rubber flap in, like that is the most amazing thing I've seen inside of a piece of rubber. And this is an older mod. They got that right, because our shit leaks all the time. I mean, no matter what, if you let your mod sit there for a couple of days, she leaks. It doesn't matter what it is and who you are. It leaks. If built right, it don't. But definitely do something about having the solid Ultim top. Could have definitely went with maybe a couple extra ones, or made it to where like it kind of like swiveled out. I'm not gonna fully take it apart, because like I said, I do have some juice in here because I was vaping on the other coil. The other coil that comes pre-installed is like 80 to 120 watts. No, it's not. Same thing with this one. This one's 40 to 80 watts. No, it's not. But we'll get there. Tank's actually nice. This is a beautiful tank. I love the structure of the tank. The rubber seals in it are actually nice as could be. I've let it sit here for 4 days. Has not dripped, has not leaked, has not nothing. Do not like the airflow on. Like, I like the airflow, but I don't like how loose the airflow is on here and how far over it goes. Because like your airflow is literally right here, and it goes all the way over here once it's closed. You could have added at least another airflow hole, or put a stopper on this to where once it was closed, bam, it's closed. It doesn't move anymore over that way. So the airflow needs to be fixed for sure. Glass piece of the tank, no, perfect. Fix the Ultim top on here. Keep it Ultim. You could have like put a little pin in one side to where it just swung open. Don't want one piece. If you lose it, it's junk, so that's useless. Now when it comes down to the coil in here, the first one that comes pre-installed, I vaped on it for 2 days and I threw it away. And I'm about to do the same thing with this coil. No matter what I do, the coil dry hits, and it's a sub-ohm. I didn't, like this coil here, I filled the tank, primed the coil, and had to charge my battery, so I threw them on the charger over here and took the mod, sat it over with all the other mods, grabbed a different mod, and was vaping on that until the other batteries were charged to use this mod. So it had 3 hours to sit there and soak up, because I was charging about 4 or 5 batteries at once. So like it took a while. Still yet, 60 to 80 watts. I'm sitting it on 50. And still a little bit of a dry hit on this coil. So it's primed just right. Rubber seals, they're not broken. It's brand new. This tank, this whole kit I have is literally only not even a week old. So why is it dry hitting? But other than that, I mean, we're going to get off the coil before it irritates me. Tank, like I said, fix your guys' coils. Put a different type of coil in there, especially if it's going to dry hit like that. Fix the airflow on here. Fix the one solid Ultim piece top. Make it so where it swivels out. And this tank will be perfect. Perfect. Nice feel of the tank. Nice size of the tank. Nice airflow in the tank. Just needs a little bit more restrictedness on like the airflow where it's stopping. Definitely need a different kind of coil to put inside of here, and this thing would be perfect. Honestly, like it is nice. This is called the Moonshot 120 tank too, actually, that comes on the kit. So, but I just the feel of it too is comfortable, but it feels plasticky. So I got curious and I took it apart. Took the two screws up top here and the 2 screws down here actually off, and actually this whole body is all metal. This is actually all metal. The only plastic piece was the big old plastic piece right here. Everything else is legitly solid metal, which really surprised me because of the way that it feels. So this is like, it gotta be like a die cast, kind of like an aluminum or something like that, because it's really thin and plasticky feeling. Battery door, that thing is solid. That type of battery door, how this one's set up, I wish other mods were set up. I've bounced this thing around even on my desk to see if it would pop open, dropped it on the floor. It will not pop open. That thing's strong. As for the mod, screen's really nice on there. As you can see, I don't know why it keeps doing that. I think there's like a wire error, or something wrong with the wires inside the mod. So I actually contacted them to see if I can get a different mod for a review. But click it 3 times, brings you to the menu. So you got mode, screen, set. You put it on mode, so it's got stainless steel, titanium, nickel in total control and power. We have it in power. So we're going to go ahead and go back out of that. And then the screen, all it does is just your brightness and then change the look of the theme, which it's only got 2 themes on it, so I really wouldn't worry about it too much. They both kind of look dorky. So we'll change the theme to that. I mean, nothing really special. And then you can go down to set, which actually is power saving mode, 0 puffs, which is zeroing out your puffs, and power heat or preheat, which the preheat I actually found comes in handy with them coils, because you can put it on hard, normal, or soft or user mode. And see, what I noticed is if you put it on hard, you can still keep it on 50 out here, okay? But it still hits soft because it's on the 50. But, as you see, 50 watts. Go back into the set. It's something that I learned inside the user manual. Go down to user, that's on the menu in there. And that's set at 75 watts on hard with that type of coil in when you have it at, say, like 50 watts, like I do. So that's actually the presetting that it actually fires up at 55 watts out on the main, or 50 watts out here. So if you go into user with it on hard, it's actually firing at 75. So that could be a reason why that it's dry hitting, because I put the other coil in, and that one was 80 to 120 watts. So I put it on 90 watts. It should be able to handle just 10 above. Okay, I mean, that's pretty high wattage. Put it on hard like I suggested. Put the airflow on it like I suggested. And after probably, I don't know, half the day of vaping on it, it started severely dry hitting. So then I found all them settings like that. And what actually, when you have it on 90 watts, and on hard, like it's supposed to, and you go in there to the preheat settings and look at it on user, because then that shows you what it's actually set at the moment, it preheats. When you have the mod on 90, it preheats at 120. So when you're taking an 80 watt head, it's actually preheating the coil already to 120 watts. All that's going to do is just burn out your coil. So Segelei, you need to fix your chipboard in here then, because we shouldn't have to go inside to the set mode right there, to the preheat, and fuck with everything on the user settings right there. Alright, that should be on you, not us. We don't want us to go in there and set our shit like that. Once I slap a sub-ohm coil on there, you should have had it like Vaporesso or something like that nowadays, to where it kind of scans like the wattage to kind of see what it needs, you know, like set it up like the Drag 3, put a gene chip inside of it, like, because all you're going to do is just fuck your coils up. like for that one, I'm going to knock a lot of stars off because nobody's going to want to have to sit there, go in the menu, go all the way over to preheat, go to user, see what it's setting at, and set their shit manually so they're getting non-dry hits. You fucked up on that, Segelei. Quite dumb. Okay. Other than that, though, the mod is nice. It is very comfortable in hand, whichever way you hold it. To where your fire button is right here on your hand, or if you put it over here to fire it with your finger. Either way, this thing's nice. It is very comfortable feeling. Even with 2 batteries inside of it, it's not heavy, but it is. I throw it in the pocket and I still went on the go because, like, even with the smaller size tank, this is nice and it's nice and compact. And it, like, as you can see, it's nice. I just wish the wattage stuff wasn't messing up like what it was, so you could get a full review. Like I said, I think I have a faulty one because, like, I can sit there and I can click at 0.29 ohms. Let me click it again. Now we're at 0.3 ohms. And if you actually go to hit it, now it's 0.35 ohms. And as you can see, once I hit it, batteries go from 75% to 58% for some reason. Always. And I can put a fully charged pair inside of here at 100, and it'll still go down to 60% when you go to hit it, and the voltage will go down from 4 to about 2.5. And then the resistance ohm thing here, that little screen pops up on there quite a bit. Oh, new resistance set at this. New resistance set at this. That right there. The current resistance rating is what it says. So something's messed up inside the wires here, so I got a faulty one. I could still show you because I know how to actually work it to where it's still, like, getting the good hits. But if you take the fire button and the top button here and hold it, it shows you the voltage of your batteries and the power level of your batteries. That's actually cool. If you take the bottom button and the fire button and hold it, it actually locks them on. Now, the only thing that sucks like that is that lock stays on no matter what with your screen on until you actually come back in and actually unlock it. That's kind of ridiculous. You should put that in the power savings. The only other thing I would take is take this Type-C port. I would have put it on the back. These buttons right here don't need to be this big, especially since they literally only do one function, basically, up or down for your wattage. So I would have actually cut them in half. Don't need to have them that big. Just don't. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys caught that or not, but yeah, it keeps doing that voltage thing. But we're going to kick it up a notch. That way we don't keep getting a light kind of hit. But like right now, I'm not pushing out a lot of clouds because there ain't much juice in here. So I'm going to put a little bit more juice inside of here. And like I said, that little flap that's in here is actually really nice too. Because see, like, you just boop right through the flap. And she fills up nicely, actually. Now, the only thing that sucks is you'll never get a full tank because you got to come up just above that flap then to kind of get a little bit more juice in there. So you can't really fill it up all the way because of that little rubber flap. But, hey, you can get it mostly filled up. But filling it up like that, like I said, that little rubber flap stops it from leaking. That needs to go on other tanks, by far. Get this Ultim top back on here. See, this is what I'm talking about. Like, and it's kind of a pain to screw on a little bit, but we definitely don't need a one-piece cap like that. Because what happens if I go, say, camping or on vacation, and I lose that Ultim top? Then I'm screwed. I gotta go buy a whole new tank, especially if I'm on the go, or hopefully, like, one of the shops have got a nice screw-on Ultim top like that. Should have actually included an extra Ultim top or an accessory to where Like, it just kind of spins open. It is what you should have done. But the Ultim is nice, though. Like, it hits nice. It really does. That's on normal mode, so, I mean, I'm going to actually set it up to hard mode, which you actually do inside your preheat settings, so... It's got good flavor. The Moonshot 120 tank has a lot of good flavor. It does have cloudage, obviously, and one thing that people need to realize with vape juice, certain vape juices, they're all made different. So you get like a 70-30 or 50-50 or any of that, okay? So the more, I think it's like VG, the more clouds you get. The other one is more flavors. So you're not going to get clouds all the time, depending on what juice you're using. So people need to actually start looking into that a little more. But for a tank like this, it's as small as what it is, and it's a 70-30 juice inside of there, which is like a straight melon menthol almost. It's like an apple menthol, apple watermelon menthol. It's got pretty good flavor on the tank, good cloudage. And the eyes light up. I wish we could actually, there was an option to turn it off. Not saying that I want to, but there should be an option to turn it off. That's just more battery juice that it's going to suck. See, it popped up the current resistance again. It constantly keeps changing, so I think there's faulty wires inside of there. But for the sake of the video, I'm still going to sit here and hit on it. If something happens, that's my own dumbass fault, not your guys' fault. But all together, the body's nice. It's metal. The battery door is badass. Buttons need to go down about half the size. The USB port, honestly, people just, if you're going to put them on there, put them to where they're concealed a little bit, because nobody needs to use them. If you can take the batteries out, do not fucking use it. Battery door is amazing. Tank, fix the problem of just having one Ultim solid piece, fix the coils so they're not dry hitting, and fix the airflow part on it. That tank would be a solid tank. Solid tank. If I didn't have one that had mechanical issues, I would use this every day. Like, legitimately, I would probably take this with me. This is actually a nice feeling tank, but it has some mechanical issues even being bought. So, but for my ratings, if it was a perfect, no mechanical issues, all that type of stuff, I would probably give it like, I'd give it about a 6.5 to 7 stars out of 10. Just because it's an older one, so to get your hands on the MS coils are going to be a little bit of a pain. But if you have a place where you could get them constantly, I'd give it probably an 8. But since I have so many mechanical issues with it right now, I'm legitimately only going to give it a 4-star rating for me for this one. But anybody else that has like a good one and it runs smoothly, I would probably give it like an 8 out of 10, because this is a very convenient mod. The one-shot or the Moonshot 120 tank is actually nice if it was built correctly. This is all around nice. See, I only hit it a few times, and that time I got a really hard dry hit. So, and this juice has been sitting inside of this tank on that coil now for 3 days. Like, and that's only at 65 watts. But if I dumb it down from hard mode and go into settings, the preheat, actually, no, a little trick that I learned. If you go into your settings and you put it on mode, because they're stainless steel coils, so take it off powered mode and set it on stainless steel. I put it on 316 Fahrenheit, and I bump it up to 570 degrees. I can hit it all day long. But you get a weak hit for some reason. That's why I said there's some issues inside of the wiring and the mechanics inside of here. But the coil, no matter what, if I put it on temp mode, doesn't dry hit. So I'm getting all right clouds. Some pretty good flavor. But this is the Segelei. That's the Moonshot 120 tank. If this is all you can afford when you go into a store, because this is definitely a beginner type mod with a beginner type tank. If this is all you can afford, since it's like 45, 50 bucks for a whole kit, then go ahead and get something like that. Or get yourself a stick. I mean, even an Aegis kind of solo mod would be your best option. But if this is all you can afford, hey, get her done. It's not a bad mod at all. I just wish mine didn't have so many mechanical issues. If you have any questions about it, just let me know. Like and subscribe. Mox Opal out.